She'd say things like, you're not Samoan, you're not Aussie, you're not Kiwi, you're Keneti, you know?
Wow.
And I was like, it's on like Donkey Kong.
Yeah, go mum.
You're going to see the best Keneti that walked this earth.
Welcome to the Legacy Collective podcast. My name's Brendan and I'm from School Fun Run. Today I'm talking to Keneti from 2exhale and we delve into the idea of self-care and making the most of every day of your life.
So if I go to the crux of it, 2exhale was created because I had a severe heart attack in 2015.
Wow.
And my artery, this is what I speak a lot about in workshops, my artery was 98% blocked. And what happened was I was able to sort of identify the physiological part of it was like, and you could do it with me, Brendan, if you breathe in a little bit, breathe in a little bit more, breathe in a little bit more. Okay, asthma pump, because I got asthma, pump. Okay, breathe in a little bit more. Yeah, that's what it felt like.
Wow.
Yeah. And I sort of like, you can breathe out now, man. Don't pass.
Yeah, I was wondering if I was going to get permission, but
that's right.
Yeah, thanks very much.
But I always sort of say to people, like, if you want to see where our society's at, have a drive on the M1, you know, the highway.
Yeah.
A lot of people are up here.
Yeah.
And when I was at that state, Elizabeth asked me, my wife asked me, you know, are you okay? And I went, yep.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I gotcha.
So it was that sense of breathlessness.
Yeah. Meanwhile, you're trying to help everyone else.
100%.
Yeah.
And I ended up flatlining, so they had to jumpstart me twice. Yeah, they said only 14% survived the heart attack that I had. And in the workshops that I run and that I speak about this a lot, I've always been conditioned to provide and work and without sort of keeping my finger on the pulse and understanding. I know we'll talk a little bit about recognizing burnout in that, but how do you recognize it when you don't even know what it looks like or sounds like? But the person that was operating on me at the time, they put a stent in me, he said to me, you know that this is not just about your food intake. This is about your way of life. Well, stress, right?
Sorry to interrupt again.
Don't apologize.
What a great doctor.
Yeah.
Like, what a great doctor.
100%.
Like, I don't know what the percentage is, but I reckon most doctors, and with all due respect to doctors, they're obviously not paid to give lifestyle advice. They're paid to save your life. He's a surgeon, right?
Yeah.
But how many would have just done the operation, put the stent in and said it went really well, enjoy your life?
That's right.
And this guy or lady, I don't know who it was, but stopped and said, you know, there's more to this than just the physiological side, right?
Yeah, that's right. And I think, Brendan, I think the beauty of that, though, and we did speak about it earlier, is it's interpretation, right? Like, I'm sure a lot of doctors say stuff like that, but it was what I took from it.
Oh, great point.
Right?
Yeah, great point.
Like, I could hear that, just like we hear, and this is what we'll talk about a lot. Like, I can be aware of it. Thanks, Doc.
Yeah.
But now it's what I do with it.
Yeah.
Because there was I had no fear of death.
Yeah.
I wasn't afraid of dying. I thought, great, this is going to be a long sleep.
Yeah, sure.
I'll get the rest.
Yeah.
But I said this in the conference that we did for PNC. It wasn't until I saw my wife's face and my girl's face that it hit home. This is not just about me, but it has to start with me.
Yeah.
And so when you're talking about, you know, your PNC cohort or the customers that you're talking to, I think that for me, it's that awareness of recognizing what is burnout. I always sort of look at when I'm working with teams, especially in the helping profession, we have to first identify what it looks like to be unrecognizable.
Explain it a little bit more for me.
So when I'm doing the things that I don't normally do, my head's twitching, and I'm up till 2 o'clock in the morning, and so where it hits home with a lot of people is that I say, when I realized that work was getting the best of me, and home, whether you got children or not, home was getting the leftovers.
Yeah.
That's when the light bulb dropped. The concept of looking after self is when I am doing me first, when I'm looking after me first and my backyard first, work gets the overflow of this goodness. It gets all the stuff because I'm doing my homework at home. They're not getting the rise together.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
I totally get you.
Yeah.
I totally get you.
And so for me, it's the work that I do with teams is actually bringing it right back to, because like you said, the why is already there.
Yeah.
The why, we're ready to go. It's like, man, let's go.
So, I think it would be great if we could talk about strategies for mums and dads to care for themselves so that their kids get the best out of them. If that's okay, could we have a chat about that?
It's a real scaffolding sort of question for me, because it's been an ongoing learning, being a father of 4 girls, it's been an absolute journey to remind myself to be kind to myself.
Okay.
As a parent. I think that we've got so much external noise. I always talk about there's so much on the outside criticizing me and telling me who I should be as a father, where I miss the time to actually engage and connect with my girls on what it means for us to be a family.
Imagine if you're thinking like that, given your training and expertise.
Yeah.
Imagine how it would feel for people without your training and expertise.
100%. And I think that's a good point, Brendan, because I think that people really struggle because they can't articulate what it is that they're feing.
Yeah.
And I was a big part of that.
Yeah. Hence the heart attack, probably.
Hence the heart attack. 100%. Like I always say to people, the only difference for me, and that's what this legacy part for the 2exhale company was, that I don't want people to wait to be lying in a hospital with wires coming out of them saying, I think I need a holiday.
Yeah, sure.
So, and I think from that cultural background perspective, that I think is a point of difference of the way I do things, is what we call, it's process oriented. So it's experiential. It's that other domain of not just learning through academic or theory, but also my upbringing as a Samoan man, born in New Zealand, come to Australia and learn the culture of Australia as well too, whether it be First Nations or even Anzacs as well too, that real mateship concept. Like it's that ability to really sort of look at, people have this commonality on knowing what rejection smells like, what fear smells like, what it tastes like. And so that's the sort of part that I felt was a real strength for me as a parent, was that I'm not going to get everything right. I'm not going to do it right. I'm not going to always get it, perfect, because there's no such thing. But what the girls know more than anything else, which is what I said earlier, they know that I've got their back.
Yeah.
And whatever they go through, whether they're, ATARs up here or whether they're, real social butterflies, I've got their back.
So how do they know that? Like what practical things have you done in your life to ensure that they know that you've got their back?
Yeah, I always sort of say it's not when it's chocolates and roses, it's when the pressure's on that you see real characters come up.
Sure.
So it's been a real trial and error,
Yeah.
So for me, that's...
So never giving up on them,
100%.
really. Like, I mean... That's what you're saying, right? Like, you just have to keep turning up.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to get it right every time, but they need to know you're always going to be there giving it your best shot.
I have this thing, and it's a real thing. One of my well-being tips for 2exhale is just don't be a jerk.
Yeah.
I actually had that up at the PNC conference, right on the big screens, and people relate.
Yeah.
And I said, before you think that I'm saying that to you, like judging, no, it's got to start with me.
Sure.
We all go through stuff. And that's the part for me is when I cannot, and to your question about, giving parents, tips and techniques, for me, if I'm going to be brutally honest, I've had to, it's a real trial and error for me. But what I do know is I can't speak to my girls if I'm not regulated. If I'm feeling like we did that breath activity before, if I'm up here and they're up here, no one's learning.
Okay.
We're not having any moments of conversations. Like as a parent, I've had to...
So do you pause those conversations and come back to... Is that how you do that?
Beautiful pickup. There is no learning if they're up here. There is no learning if I'm up here. So I 100%, my wife's really good at that. Elizabeth's so great at that.
Some people are so much better than other people at that, right?
I thought I was good at it. I'm nowhere near just that ability to take a step back. And I always go slow down to move fast. That's one of my lines.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Say that again.
Slow down to move fast.
Yeah.
Because I, when people, we had a concept in the beginning, stop, reflect, and then respond. But it's like, man, no one stops.
Yeah, sure. You can slow down.
That's unrealistic.
But you don't stop. Yeah.
You can pause.
Yeah.
But even that's like we're still moving a bit.
Yeah.
So the slowing down to move fast was a concept that I used to go, no, the energy's high. We're constantly, we're constantly moving. But if I slow down, it gives me the ability to then use some of the techniques that we use in our workshops for 2exhale.
Yeah.
One of them is the concept AIR, get some air, which I did at the conference, AAIR. And so it stands for awareness, application, intentional breathing, and then respond.
Yeah.
So the awareness, the reason why I created it, Brendan, was that I was seeing that in our stages of well-being and that in our nation, there's a lot of awareness. There's not a lot of application.
Sure.
And that's not a judgment call.
Yeah.
It's that external stuff and contributing factors that we forget to go.
Yeah.
Actually, and I'll talk about this in schools.
That's really interesting because talk about like awareness and application.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is a really tough question I'm about to ask, but that's the point of having a chat, right?
Yeah.
I think we're all aware that there's a lot of disconnect in our community, right down to our families, and that's a result of the technologically driven society we live in. Like phones are a big distraction, pay TV, big distraction, gaming consoles, big distraction. You come from a culture that is people orientated. I'm not saying it's you don't have the same issues. But when I go, to the beach as an Australian, if you see 4 or 5 Australians together, there's a lot of people. But if I see Polynesian culture, it's, you can have 40, 50 people there. And that's just, a gathering. Norm. It's just it's not unusual.
No, that's right.
And I'm just wondering, we're all aware that social connectivity is important, but we don't apply it in the same way that other cultures apply it. Do you think it's healthy, to get together in large social groups like that? And what could people do, if anything? And that's why it's a hard question, because to you it's probably part of your culture. But should people make more intentional decisions to get together like that? I don't really even know what my question is, but there's something there about mental health and well-being in a group, right?
Yeah, and I'm currently doing some work with multicultural communities, Gold Coast too, just down the road. But one of the things that I think is great about your question is that we're ever growing too, we're ever learning. But I think it's like I think the formula for us is to always create spaces that are authentic and not tokenistic.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One thing I really love about Australian culture is that real investment in seeing, like you said, if you see 4, Australians saying, like that's a gathering.
Yeah.
but there's it's quality.
Yeah.
So that's the part that I feel like we don't do enough. Is when we do get together, it almost becomes an obligation, and that's not what we want. We want it to be quality over quantity.
It's great. So it's almost like if you tell the kids, turn off the TV because we're having dinner together, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
But for what purpose?
That's right.
Because it's got to be genuinely, we want to have dinner together. What sort of legacy do you want your girls to take from your life?
Yeah, it's a pretty simple one. I think that the legacy leaving part for me is that they would always know that it works out in the end. It's going to be okay. And that they always, if I was to think about a line on what they want to, that I would like them to remember me by, is that I've always had their back. That no matter what they went through in life, the credentials, all that stuff, the successes and the growth and learning, that I've always been there to hold them if they fall backwards. And I guess that was something that I didn't always get sort of growing up. I didn't feel that sort of...
In your own family life as a child?
Yeah, I think it was my own sort of, my own journey with growing up as the youngest in the youngest in the family as well. But I also...
They're always the forgotten one, right? Yeah.
And my wife's the youngest as well too, so we have a pity party with but yeah, my girls always say, no, it's totally the opposite. I was so spoiled. But I think that's the legacy leaving piece for me. Is it's interesting because the flow-on effect to the interactions that I've had outside of my family that, that are not blood, has been what we spoke about earlier. Has been, I've just been absolutely blown away of how blessed I am, to come across people like yourself and those that I've interacted with in the workshops and the conferences. That's full cup, man.
Yeah. And you're making a difference because like you were recommended to me for this chat by someone who you've already made a difference in their life.
Yeah,
and you probably don't even know who that lady is. But that's legacy.
Yeah.
Like you are out there doing it and people are taking it in and making their lives better because of what you're doing.
Yeah.
So it's amazing to know that stuff.
That's a good one. And I paused for a sec because I rarely force myself to receive that, because it's one of the worst things that we do as a culture, not just Pacific, but Aussie culture too. We are so good at giving. We suck at receiving. We suck at receiving, and we've got to get more authentic at receiving the gifts from people when they say you are making an impact, right? Like,
hey, you come into this room like a wrecking ball, right? Like a smiling wrecking ball, right? Like very happy, big personality.
Yeah.
You live to make other people's lives better. These are wonderful human traits that you have, right?
Yeah.
Like you're amazing guy. How did you get that way? Like who do you when you look back on your life, people would have put their knowledge into you or their belief into you. Can we talk a little bit about who those people are and what they did and why it helped you become the way that you are?
If I go off the top of the dome, honestly, for me growing up, there was a teacher from Bath. She was a music teacher, Miss Earthy, and we came from a pretty rough, area in New Zealand. But I said this at the PNC conference. She said this really powerful thing to me. She said, "Good morning, Keneti." And she looked at me eye to eye. And what did I do, miss?
Yeah.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
And she said, "Good morning. I'm just saying good morning. I see you."
Yeah.
And for the first time, I felt like I was seen not as a great Islander singer or a great rugby player.
Yeah.
She saw Keneti.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that was a real seed that was planted that I had no idea what that impact was.
And what grade was that?
That was in year 12.
Wow, so that was really late in your school career.
Yeah, that was only last year, man. It's like no, it was a long time ago, but it was very early. Like it was, and I didn't recognize that until later on in my years. It was this.
Yeah.
It was the eyes.
Yeah.
It was the, you could see the sadness or the happiness or the energy, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't lie.
Yeah.
And I think that for me was the first part of that, planting the seeds around this. What is this entity that I'm experiencing for myself? I think
so she gave you a sense of self. Is that what I'm hearing? Like
she saw Keneti.
Keneti was there.
Yeah.
And not cloaked in anything else. Just Keneti was there.
Yep.
And that gave you an empowerment to go, oh, what am I going to do with this? Because 100%. I have an opportunity here.
Yeah.
Right.
So what I love about what you said was that it wasn't you're the next this guy or you're the next this person.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that until later on in my years doing study in that this was what, for me, this is what I was experiencing, was like how to be my authentic self.
Yeah.
And that I'm going to grow this entity, right? And so the other person was Chris Brock, and that's my father-in-law, and that's Elizabeth's dad. Like he really
is that really his name, or that's just what you call him?
That's his real name.
Okay, easy to remember.
It's not that Chris Brock.
Yeah.
But again, just really spoke with authority, but on the floor playing Ring Ring a Rosie with my girls. Going through heavy stuff in terms of his illness and stuff when he was going through cancer. He was the one that was saying to me, "Are you okay, son? Like, are you all right?" Like, I was like, what?
Yeah.
That real in your darkest times, he was there. You know what I mean? So that was another one. But the biggest one was my mum, my late mum.
Yeah.
And I spoke about this in the conference, like, it really created that entity where she was like, she'd say things like, "You're not Samoan, you're not Aussie, you're not Kiwi, you're Keneti,"
Wow.
And I was like, It's on like Donkey Kong.
Yeah, go mum.
You're going to see the best Keneti that walked this earth.
Yeah.
And so then if that's my
yeah, so she
target,
gave you your identity as you.
Permission.
Like you're just you. Like do
Permission.
what do you.
Yeah. And that is really can be a really scary place, right? Especially when you're living in a world of judgment and comparison, and but that sort of freed up that entity to go, no, just be you. It's common feedback that come back from people, around feeling safe enough and that I'm truly present, that there's no one else that matters in this room. It's just you and I. You know what I mean? And I think that was a real learning from my mum.
Can I say something? Yeah. Can I say your mum, if she was here, she would be really proud of you.
Thank you.
And the reason I say that, I met you today, but I've got goosebumps, right? Because I feel such a genuine connection to you because you are you, right? Like, I know that sounds silly, but it's the truth, right? Like, what your mum asked you to do, it occurs to me that you've achieved that goal. Yeah. Because you are Keneti. Yeah. Like, it's so easy for me to sit here and talk to you. Yeah. Because you're just being you. Yeah. And I think that's what your mum wanted for you.
Yeah. No, I totally agree, Brendan. And the hardest, it was one of the hardest parts for me and my wife and my girls. Like, we when mum passed away, it was during COVID. So we weren't allowed to go. So we watched it on a screen.
Yeah. But for somebody so connected,
I wanted to
doesn't
hold.
Feel the same.
Yeah, I wanted to close, and I appreciate that. And so she really was sort of the framework of how I work, where it really was about the action stuff. It was the applying stuff. It was the building trust through creating frameworks and approaches that weren't so hard for people to grab a hold on,
well, you've done that too. Yeah. Like you seem to, don't be a jerk. Yeah. Really giving it to people in a way that is easy to understand. Yeah. It's good knowledge. Yeah.
Well, and I think that's what people are tired from, like they're really tired of being spoken at. And I think what's refreshing for people is that they hear, hey, like it's a roller coaster. But if we can continue to do it, to ride together and go, hey, Brendan, can you hold this backpack for a little bit? It's all those concepts where we're creating those spaces to do that. There's nothing but great outcomes then, especially when we're talking about culture, and well-being.
That's so amazing.
Yeah, thanks.
Is there any part of your teachings or story, life story, that you never get to share that you would like to share?
Yeah. I think for me, it's like we had a bit of a joke, about, it being the last quarter, especially hitting 51. But I think it's becoming more and more, I talk a lot about not waiting for eulogies to say something lovely to each other. And I think we've done that over and over again this afternoon. I think my encouragement for this setting for us is to not forget to take that time, whether that person or not, whether it's the person behind at the petrol station that I just left, that we.
And I don't even know if it's forget. Yeah. Like, I'll be honest with you. There's people in my life that I know I could have a better connection to.
100%.
And I don't know why I don't. Yeah. Like, it's just conditioning. It's something where you don't want to give that up. Yeah. But you should. Yeah. Because you know life's going to be better. Yeah. But you don't. Yeah. You hold a grudge, you do this, you do that. Yeah. And your life would be just, I think on some level we all know it's just better to tell people that you love them.
Mate, and I think what you're creating here, Brendan, is honestly, it's the polarity of what's expected to, for our society, like having these real open conversations about this stuff and not overcomplicating. It's not an upsell of 2exhale, There's a genuine, like, this is not a game to us.
Yeah, sure.
And so, when I speak out to the wider community, I want to make this really clear, like, don't wait for eulogies to say something nice to each other. It's got to start here. And
start saying nice things to yourself.
Man, it's got to start with self. Yeah. we are so unkind to our own. Like you just said it, right?
Yeah.
Like, why don't I do it?
Yeah.
It's such a natural entity for us and our nation is that we are so bad. And we're so unkind to ourselves. And that's the part for me that I'm working on a lot. That's still part of my growth and learning, is that the whole reason why 2exhale was created, because it almost becomes never enough, whether they're leaving school or going into uni, and then it's the next thing is this. We forget to enjoy the fruit.
Yeah.
It's right here.
Yeah.
It's in our backyard.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Literally in our backyard. So, and that's probably my... that's probably my deepest share from my heart, is there's been such a compound moments of loss in our family, and that's what's become more evident for me. It's not, oh my gosh, we've got to hurry up and, get our house in order. No, far from it. Soak it in, enjoy, leave the legacy, and watch it grow.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow, what a great! I think we should end our chat there, because I honestly don't know if there's better advice when it comes to living your best life than to start by loving yourself,
100%,
and then just share that abundantly.
Yeah,
because that's where happiness is, in connection.
Yeah,
and if you get in that sandpit with the right intention, amazing things, I'm sure, will befall us all.
100%.
Yeah, amazing.
It's been awesome, man. It's been awesome.
Thanks for listening to today's episode of the Legacy Collective podcast. Copyright by School Fun Run. Today's episode was brought to you by Funzy. You can find out more at funzy.com.au. And if you'd like to access other podcasts, we produce one called Chase the Fun. It's narrated by Chase the Cheetah, and it's made specifically for kids in primary school to help them develop characters to become the best human beings they can be. See you in the next episode.